Well, hello and welcome to the 27th Degree with Chris and Nancy. So we have a special episode for you today. This is our annual Christmas giving show. We'll share with you some of our favorite charities along with ways you can make a difference this season. But before we begin, a word from our sponsor. Bay Coast Bank is just right for all of your financial needs. Visit baycoast.bank or call 508-678-7641 to learn more. As always, you can support the 27th Degree with Chris and Nancy by subscribing to us on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform, and by following us on Facebook and Instagram. Also, please remember to leave a review. 5-star reviews are greatly appreciated.
All right.
All right, Nancy, this is always a fun show to do.
I love our annual Christmas show. And I love it because so many people sometimes struggle with what to do for gifts for people sometimes, not realizing, you know what, you can make a donation in their name. You can remember a loved one. You can, if you're not exchanging gifts, like say perhaps we were married and I'm like, no, I don't want to buy you a gift just yet. And you say, no, you don't want to buy me a gift. And I said, you know what, we can donate together to a charity. You know, one of my friends shares the same birthday as I do. So November 19th, by the way, so you can remember that for next year.
I will. I'll keep that in mind.
But we were sitting and she was like, you know, before we buy gifts for each other, let's just pick a charity to donate to. And it was a really good feel.
I think that's a nice thing because, I mean, sometimes often you don't need anything, you know?
No.
I mean, there are people who are in need during the holidays, and some of us are fortunate enough where we really don't need stuff. And it's nice to be able to give that to others.
I think so too. So in light of all that, and it makes you just feel good.
It does, absolutely.
Season. It's all about giving. So then what charity to give to? Now there's a lot of scams out.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad charities. They're not real charities. So you got to be careful.
There's a lot of scams out there. So if you're worried about that and, you know, like I want to donate, I'm not sure who to donate to, or I'm not sure where I'm aligned, you want some charities to look at, there's a great website to go to. It's charitynavigator.org. And when you go on the website, there's a couple of things that you can look at. And I'm going to, as we talk about our charities today, I'll bring them up. But so charitynavigator.org, you can discover what charity you want to give to. You can enter in, they have a drop down if you're interested in pets or children or
that's really nice.
You know, hunger. You can really just pick one. And it goes over, it has another tab that has donor basics on it. So if you want your charitable donation to be tax deductible, it can, you know, you can look into that. It will tell you how to avoid charity scams. So again, charitynavigator.org, great site to go to. And it also rates, they do a rating
That's
system.
what I was wondering. So they're rating these companies
They do.
You can donate to. That's great.
Yep. So, and then they also list the popular charities too that everyone has heard of. But they do rate the charities. The 4-star ratings are really great rating. They give a percentage rating to 99%, 100%, 86%, and you can see how they grade their charities. But great place to start if you're interested in donating to charities.
I mean, that's great that they do rate it, because a lot of times you don't know where your money's going. Is it going to administrative costs?
Right.
Is it going to is it going to be used for the people who need it?
Yeah. What percentage of your money is actually getting to?
80%? Is it 95%? Is it 20%? Big difference there.
Exactly.
So.
All right.
Well, great. Well, let's talk about some charities.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. Sure. So, you know, I really love animals. I always love to donate to organizations that are involved with the welfare of animals. So I got a couple that I'm going to talk about. I'll talk about some other charities too, but I'll start off with this one. This is PetcoLove.org. So this got 4 stars on Charity Navigator, which, as you mentioned, is their highest rating. Yep. Which is good. It's not 5-star, but 4 stars are highest. So keep that in mind. Yep. So you can go online to I think it's petcolove.org, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And, you know, Petco is a very nationally known organization, and they've had this site where they've allowed donations since 1999. And basically their mission is simply to provide a better world for animals and the people who care for them. Nice and simple. And basically with the money, there's a lot that they do. So they have already, since 1999, invested millions in adoption and medical care programs. So, for animals that need a good, loving home, they will help with that. They'll spay and neuter animals. They do also pet cancer research because we know that animals, dogs, cats, they really develop cancers at an extraordinary rate. And they often, die young because of that. It's quite sad. So some of their money goes to pet cancer research. They're involved with a number of welfare organizations, and there are 1,500 Petco stores across the country, and they are all involved in this donation process. It's really a great organization, and the money does really go for a good cause.
Yep. And again, that's petcolove.org. And it's a really user-friendly website too. So when you go on, there's a big purple donate button. You can push it. And then if you're leery about giving your credit card information online, you can do a donation by PayPal. And that was petcolove.org.
Yeah, that's a great one. And that money really does go to help the animals out, which is wonderful.
Yeah, so. They had a really strong rating.
Yeah.
So next, the Ukraine is struggling, as we all know. So again, on that charitynavigator.org site, they list quite a few ways that you can help the Ukraine. They have a couple of really outstanding organizations such as UNICEF, International Rescue Committee, Heart to Heart International, Samaritan's Purse. You can choose and read up on all of these and decide which one you want to give to. And if you select any one of these organizations to donate to, it will be helping the Ukraine for relief.
Are there any that jumped out at you as being, better organizations to donate to on that list?
Yeah. I mean, again, when you go on the Charity Navigator, when you look at certain things. So you would go on their site, you would look at Ukraine relief and recovery. And then as you scroll down, again, some of the ones I already read to you, but they do have some like Global Giving, 98%. That's their charitable rating. Heart to Heart International, 98%. So I would probably myself look at those first with a higher rating, again, because that based on the criteria that Charity Navigator uses, their money and their relief efforts.
And there's a big difference in the ratings on some of. I mean, they're all in the
all
80s
good
and higher, but
and again, they each have a slightly different mission. So I think that you would pick one that really resonates with you, like how you envision yourself, what type of impact you want to make. Is it infrastructure rebuilding, or is it food for children, or what have you?
Yeah, and these people are really suffering a lot. And, it's with the news cycle the way it is, you see less and less of it as time goes on. But the war is still raging.
Yeah.
And people are not only losing their lives, but they have limited food, clothing, the things that we take for granted every day.
Going into a harsh winter.
Exactly. Going into a harsh winter. That's another scary point.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Well, that's a great organization or great.
I think so.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Toys for Tots. Now, everyone knows Toys for Tots.
Yep.
But what I want to remind everyone of is that it is also a 4-star charity on Charity Navigator. So this is, whatever's donated to Toys for Tots is very little that is going to administrative costs. It's really going to the less fortunate children throughout the United States that need the gifts. And there's so many kids out there that, wake up on Christmas Day with nothing. And it's really sad to think that is the case. But they play an active role in trying to get these resources that are out there to children who are of need. And they do it through local communities. And that's a really great part of it. It's local communities. They have an annual toy collection and distribution campaign, and it's distributed locally.
Yep.
And they're also a very highly rated charity, 4-star on Charity Navigator, as mentioned. So you can definitely trust that if you are donating to Toys to Tots, that it's going to get where it needs to go.
And I think they had a big impact in Bristol County alone last year for 2021.
Right. Right. So they had 20,307 toys that were distributed, 6,290 children supported. And that's locally. Right.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. That's really fabulous.
Yeah. And Toys for Tots, like you said, they're everywhere. So your local fire station, like I'm from Somerset. So my local fire station is doing a Toys for Tots campaign. Walgreens, they have collection boxes in Walgreens for Toys for Tots.
But the other interesting thing with them is that you don't have to donate toys. You can donate money. You can donate through PayPal. They'll even take cryptocurrency. So if you're getting tired of that Bitcoin and you don't want to send it to me, send it to Toys to Tots. Toys for Tots.
Did you say send it to you? Oh my gosh. You know what else they do that's kind of cool on their website? What's
that?
So if you go onto their website and you say, you want to donate, they have a virtual toy box. So when you continue to a virtual toy box, they actually have toys that you can select, and you just drag
and you just buy it. Basically.
Yeah. You would say
that's really interesting.
Oh, I want this little sewing machine. And you can just
$24.99
add to the toy box, and then you just check out. But
so
you can
that makes it so easy. You don't. In the past,
easy.
I always thought of this as you went out, you bought a gift, you put it in a collection box, but you don't even have to do that.
You know, you can sit in front of your computer and just click and just make the world a better place.
Yep, and it's really great for these kids who really have nothing.
Yeah,
and would wake up to to nothing on Christmas Day otherwise.
Yeah. So, anyways, you want me to go next?
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's talk about restaurants. One of my favorite restaurants, Gregg's, located in East Providence and Warwick.
Best desserts.
They do. They have iconic desserts. Oh my God.
Death by chocolate cake.
Yes, they do. And actually, they used to, pre-COVID, they used to have a big giving tree.
Right, I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, you'd go in and you could take a...
Yeah, they had all the tags, and you
tags.
could, do you want to, you could kind of pick girl, boy, age range.
Mm-hmm.
So this year they're doing more of a virtual giving tree. So if you go on to Gregg's website, and you just can search for Gregg's restaurant, they're asking for monetary donations this year by check or online in lieu of gifts. These funds will be used to purchase gifts for the children, adults, seniors, and organizations that we serve. They are also willing to accept gift cards to Target and Walmart, Visa gift cards, MasterCard gift cards, American Express gift cards, and $25 denominations. You can do contributions by mail, and that would be Gregg's Giving Tree, Inc. at 214B Main Street in East Greenwich, Rhode Island, 02818. Online contributions, it's Gregg's with 2 G's, so it's GREGGS USA.com. And for e-gift card contributions, it's Taylor at GreggsUSA.com.
We'll have to post this.
Yeah, we'll do. Actually, that's a really good point. We'll post all our links. We'll post all our links for this show in our show notes. So, and then what they do too, that's kind of neat. So as a sweet thank you, we'll send a card that can be redeemed for a slice of our famous chocolate layer cake for donations of $25 or more. So if you donate $25 or more, that big cake you were talking about, you can get a free slice of cake.
What do you have to donate to get the whole cake? That's what I want to know.
What's 8 times 25?
Yeah.
200.
200.
I guess, but you'd have to do it individually. So you go out the door, come back in, donate again.
Just
donate
keep
again,
going around. Exactly. All right, that's great. That's great. I mean, that's not going to be on the charity site that you mentioned because it's more of a local charity. I'm assuming, but
right.
But still, they've been doing it for years. They're a reputable organization.
Yeah, and it's just it's easy. Like I said, everything's really easy and just clicks away to make a big difference this year.
Absolutely. You want me to go?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about the Jasmine Grace Outreach.org. So Jasmine, Jasmine, graceoutreach.org. So this is an organization that helps with women who are at risk for human trafficking, prostitution, addiction, and homelessness. And we had Jasmine on our show a couple weeks ago. That show will air, I think, in January. Yep. And she talked about her experience with human trafficking and drug addiction. It was really a fabulous show.
It's quite moving.
It was very moving. And what she has done, which it's so remarkable, is, she spent a good part of her life in a very difficult situation. And when she was able to extricate herself from that situation, there was time that she also spent with the aftermath of that.
Yeah.
But she has been able to, develop this organization that helps women who are in similar situations as she was in. And what they're looking for, they try to get these bags together that have basically things that women would need, essential items, such as deodorant, socks, toothpaste, toothbrushes, shampoo, conditioner, things such as that, things that, we don't really think about, but are so necessary if someone is in a really desperate situation where they really have nothing. Many of these women are on the streets. They're controlled by pimps or others. And, this really helps them. When they leave these situations, they often have nothing.
Right.
And this is something that helps them to survive after they're able to extricate themselves.
Yeah, sometimes it's just those little things that make a big difference. So she does, they're called bags of hope.
Right.
And all the items that Chris just mentioned go into this bag with a note, an inspirational little note, and are given to women that are in need.
Right.
So it makes a big difference.
I mean, a lot of these women have, from talking to Jasmine and, other shows we've done too, you get the sense that they've just been abused by really almost everyone they meet.
Yep.
So this little bit of love that they get means a lot.
Yeah.
It might be the first time someone has really reached out to them in a caring manner.
Right.
So it sounds like it may not sound like much, but it means a tremendous amount to these women.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, because what some of us may take for granted, isn't taken for granted by a certain population. Just that little bit with anything that you'll do this season is a huge help.
Yeah. I mean, her story, listening to her story, I mean, she basically left with the clothes on her back, and that was it. There's not time to bring any of the items that you need or have.
Right.
So basically, if there's an interest, and this is a great organization, you can go to Jasmine, Jasmine, Grace, GRACE, outreach.org.
Yep.
And all the information will be there. Really a great group.
I'm just looking at your paper too, and you know what's really nice about this? So if the holidays are like wicked hectic for you and everything else, looks like they have an event in January.
Okay, right. That's right.
So January 14th from 12 to 4, and I can't read.
It's so this is in North Reading, Mass. Basically, it's at the Trinity Evangelical Church, 105 Haverhill Street in North Reading, Mass. We can put this out on the site too, so it's obvious. But that's a great point. I mean, it's so busy around the holidays. Maybe you want to donate afterwards because things are just too hectic. Here's an opportunity to do that.
That'd be a kind of cool invite too. Again, like if you're struggling for gifts and you want to do some like experience gifts, which are really in right now, and like something special that people will talk about and just remember as a nice memory in your family. You'd be like, hey guys, join me January 14th. Yeah. We'll go up to Reading as as friends or family, and we'll do this together. And it's just something that could be really create a great memory.
They've impacted a lot of women in a positive way. Some of the stories that we heard were really great. And, the things that they're looking for are common things you can get from really, CVS or any local pharmacy. I'll go over the list. It'll be on the site, but it's women's socks, tampons, deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrushes, small containers of shampoo, conditioner, trail mix, chapstick, nail polish, baby wipes, hairbrush, elastics, winter items like scarves, gloves, hats, soap. Dunkin' Donut gift cards are listed, as are notes of encouragement. And that's probably... You can really personalize this because a lot of the women that are involved, that Jasmine Grace gets involved with, these notes probably mean more than you can ever know.
Right, exactly. So again, that was Jasmine Grace Outreach .com or .org.
Oh, let's see where that is. That would be .org.
Alrighty.
Right.
And then you can look at Bags of Hope, and right when you go on to the website, they'll bring up that event that we talked about.
Yeah, it's a nice website. It's worth looking at, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Primacare is Southeastern New England's trusted leader in medical care. With offices in Fall River and surrounding communities, we're dedicated to your well-being. Our carefully selected team of more than 150 providers offers world-class primary and specialty medical care. Primacare doctors are supported by a skilled staff trained to deliver comprehensive radiology, imaging, and testing services. Primacare is large enough to take care of all your medical needs, but small enough to care for you personally. Primacare is by your side.
All right.
Your turn.
My turn. Well, let's stick with the women's stuff then.
All right.
So we've had on our show a few times Hassan Sudo from the Women's Center.
Yes.
And
Hassan does a great job.
Yeah, for sure. And again, if you're looking to do a couple of clicks to make a difference, you can go to the Women's Center. It's the Women's Center SC for South Coast, thewomanscenter.com. And there's a little donate tab. If you click on the donate tab, it's real easy. You just pop on the donate here. And again, you can pick out your denomination, how much you want to give. You can make that a monthly donation or just a one-time donation. And if you're leery, like we talked about before, about the credit cards, you can donate with PayPal.
Right.
And that goes to their various programs that they run. It goes to items, some of the items that Chris mentioned.
And this is, in case you don't know, we did have Hassan on a couple times, but this is basically women who are victims of domestic violence.
Or just need resources too, like going to court. He had talked about, well, like you said, if they're going to court and they need someone there for them, if they need free counseling,
right?
Whatever.
And both of this organization, the last one we spoke about, I mean, they basically live off their donations. So, they do not charge their clients for any of the work they do. It's all done for free, and they do some amazing work and really help out a lot of people in real need.
Since I have their hotline number up, I should put it out there too. So anyone that's struggling from any type of violence, you can call the 24-hour hotline, 508-999-6636.
And I said women, but there are men who suffer from domestic violence. And the women, although it's named the Women's Center, there are men who use those resources too. So, for anyone out there who's in that situation, it's available.
All right.
What
next?
Oh, my turn. So I'm going to go back to the animals again because I just love to. I love to help out animals if I can. And so we talked about Petco, which is a national organization, but sometimes you want to give to more of a local organization. And here's an opportunity for you. So there's the Forever Paws Animal Shelter, which is right here in Fall River on Linwood Street.
Yes.
And they do really, remarkable work. So they're looking for basically food for the animals, treats for the animals, and supplies. So supplies could be clean blankets, towels, crate carriers, leashes, cat beds, dog beds, etc., cleaning supplies. And of course, the monetary donations are also useful too. This is a no-kill shelter. They basically are able to take these animals and hopefully find good homes for them.
Yeah.
Forever homes, and that's the goal. They do great work.
So the thing that's nice about them, too, that if you live locally, there's a place in Somerset. It's called, I think I wrote it down there.
Did you?
Way down the bottom. Country Fair Hot Dogs. Right around the corner from my house.
Yeah, right here. Okay.
Buy 5 hot
I was
dogs,
wondering
get
why
one
that.
free.
I was wondering why that.
I know.
Was
What
there.
do hot dogs have to do with dogs? So if you're not too fond of going online, doing things online, this is a hot dog place right on County Street in Somerset. Country Fair Hot Dogs near the nail salon, and you can just pop in there. They have a place to donate some of these items that Chris just talked about. You can donate these items, and if you donate monthly, you can get a chance to win a $25 gift certificate.
And pick up a couple hot dogs.
And some chips and soda. But yeah, it's a good organization. Oh, you know what's cool about that place too? When you walk in, they have like their lineup of all like your animals on the wall.
At Forever Paws?
Yeah. So maybe you should take a picture of Rebel and we'll put them up there.
We could put them up
there. Yeah, but like there's like literally like 200 pictures of animals. So as you're standing in the hot dog line, you can look at all these like little cute pets. And
that's great. Yeah, there's so many animals in need out there. And you know, they really rely on us, and they're so, you know, they're very innocent, and you know, it's unfortunate when they're abused, but they are often, sadly.
Sure. All right. So you talked about the little animals. I'm going to talk about the big boys.
All right.
So this is a real fun donation to do. The Sheldrick Wildlife Trust, and that's SHELDRICK, wildlifetrust.org. This is based in Kenya, and it was established 45 years ago, best known for its orphans project. So basically, there's a lot of poaching that goes on in this area. They rescue elephants is what they're known for. Their elephant rescue and adoption rehab program. That's pretty well known. So I will tell you that a couple of years ago, I was like, oh, what am I going to get my kids, right? This was one of the best presents ever. Because who opens up a present and it's, I gave you a baby elephant, I gave you a baby rhino, and you got a baby giraffe. So how this works is you donate $50 and you adopt one of their animals, and multiple people will adopt the same animal. There, it goes towards, the money goes towards just the rehab of the animals that they rescue. But what's really cool is you can go on this site and it shows you the actual rescue video. Of them saving. That's pretty cool. Like the little big guys. And then you can also pick what animal you want. So they have a little story. They have, you know, I'm looking at this one, Kindani. Adopt Kindani for yourself. And he's the cutest little elephant. But they'll tell you a little bit about a story, how he got rescued, and they show you his little journey so far. And when you donate that $50, what you get monthly is you get the diary updates from the caretakers taking care of the animals. You get a monthly email update, and you also get a watercolor done by Angela Sheldrick. And again, you can go on the site and watch the rescue videos and pick which animal you want to give. They have a drop down, and right now available for adoptions are rhinos and elephants, and they might have a giraffe out there too. I thought when I was tooling around this website earlier, they had a giraffe, but that's cute, huh?
I mean, it's amazing that there's still a lot of poaching that goes on. It's remarkable that you know, we need to protect these animals. I mean, they're truly endangered. I mean, their population is quite low. Where it needs to be to survive long term.
So again, that was SheldrickWildlifeTrust.org.
Excellent. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's just a fun gift to get because no one's expecting a baby rhino as a Christmas gift.
That's true. I would not expect that. But it's a great gift.
Oh my gosh. So, churches.
Yeah.
You want to talk about some churches? So, one of the churches, and I'm Catholic, so I'll talk about the churches that I go to. Our church is called Our Lady of Peace Parish, again, Somerset based. But this is St. Patrick's, St. Louis de France, and St. Thomas More. And you don't have to belong to the church to take part in this. They have an event going on till December 11th. And it's called the Advent Giving Tree. So in each one of these churches, again, it was St. Patrick's in Somerset, St. Louis de France, and Somerset. I'm thinking Somerset or Swansea. Somerset maybe, and St. Thomas More. So what they do is they have a big tree, like the giving trees. You go and you pick a tag, and it's not like just for children. It's for men, for women, and what have you. And then you take the tag and you bring back the gifts that were asked for unwrapped with the tags attached. And they're sponsoring certain groups, Star of Fall River, providing healthcare and addiction treatment, Stepping Stone of Fall River, housing and treatment programs for men and women who are homeless or dealing with addiction. They support the Haitian Health Foundation and St. Vincent de Paul Society, assisting families and individuals right in the Somerset, Swansea area. One of my friends actually just pulled a tag from one of these trees, and you know what was on it? It was a little boy, and he wanted Spam, tuna in oil, and peanut butter with a good expiration date.
Oh, geez.
I know.
Sad. I mean, it's really heartbreaking.
So, little things can make a very big difference.
I mean, most churches have something similar to this. So, as Nancy mentioned, if your church probably has something similar, but if not, you don't need to belong to a particular parish to participate. And that's the nice thing about this.
Yeah, and churches, they also have, and look into like Chris said, you don't have to belong. You can just go tool around on the internet and find a church that's close to you, or a food pantry or whatever. Because, another local church, St. John of God, not only does a food pantry, but does a meal ministry. So, and this is nice that if you have time to donate, maybe your budget, you don't have wiggle room in your budget, but maybe you have some time.
Well, that's a great point. I mean, sometimes people don't have the ability to donate financially, but they could donate their time to something like this. There's so many needy people out there that go to, food pantries, to food kitchens and whatnot. Yep. And that can be a great experience.
Yeah. Again, it just makes you feel good. With St. John of God, their meal ministry, their parish serves meals to the needy on the second and the fourth Thursdays of the month from 5 to 5:30. And it's just the meals to help those in the local area who need to stretch their wallet and just are having trouble making ends meet and who want a good meal. And the meals are really, really good. I did actually help with their meal ministry for a little while, and their meals are really tasty.
I did this a number of times when I was back in medical school. I haven't unfortunately done it since, but it was a really tremendous experience. We used to go in Worcester. There was a place called the Mustard Seed, which was basically a soup kitchen, for the homeless and for those in need. And I think that the people who were serving got as much out of the experience as the people who were receiving.
Yeah. And I think, sometimes when you think of the people that are coming in for meals, you're thinking of, just the down and out. They're not. They're like families that look like you and I.
That's the sad thing. We have whole families come in and, it's, absolutely. And this year is going to be, I think, particularly difficult for many.
The inflation rates and everything else.
Fuel costs, rent's going up.
$8 a dozen.
Everything's going up in cost, but salaries don't go up at the same rate. And there are many who, don't even have the ability to work. So that's a whole other issue. So anyway, these are some great, great opportunities and options. You can, as Nancy mentioned, you can look at these organizations and you can decide, do you want to donate your time? Do you want to donate money? Do you want to donate a gift? There's so many different ways to do this.
And we'll talk about one more. And this is a show that you and I had done.
Right.
Camp Angel Wings. And this was great. You can donate to this. And again, we're going to put this in the show notes. So I'll read this to you, but don't go running around for a pencil trying to write it down. southcoast.org/visiting-nurse-association/donate-southcoast-VNA/.
You got that?
So if you remembered that, this is for Camp Angel Wings. And Camp Angel Wings is a 2-day bereavement camp located in Asona for children and teens between 6 to 15 that are grieving the loss of a loved one. South Coast VNA hosts the camp, which is supported by community donations, so campers can attend free of charge.
Yeah, that's great.
And it's a great program. You should listen to the episode we did with Camp Angel Wings. Yeah. It was really great. Everything that they offered these children that were in bereavement. But I think those are the donations that Chris and I decided to highlight this year. But as always, Chris had mentioned giving of your time is great as well. And there's certainly a lot of options for you to choose to give your time.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think that a lot of people feel disconnected these days. There's a lot of elderly out there who don't have the connection to families that, they need. So there's a lot that you can do, and just being a good neighbor, shoveling snow, just checking in on someone, bringing their mail in, or, things like that. It mean a lot. I mean, it is remarkable how isolated people have become. I say patients, my doctor hat coming out, but how isolated people have been during COVID. We all know this. And it's really particularly difficult for the elderly.
Yeah. And I just think of my mom who lived alone for a while, and she was in a wheelchair. And I mean, even the simple thing is like her newspaper being in the middle of the walk.
Right.
And there was no way she was going to get that. Luckily, we had a nice mailman who used to bring the newspaper up and put it in her mailbox for her. Mm-hmm. But that would have been a real struggle, or she would have gotten hurt trying to use 2 canes, and I don't know.
Those are those little things we don't think about that, we take for granted.
Right.
But
and even checking on people, like if you don't see, the elderly person that lives 2 doors down from you for a couple of days, maybe, just go knock on their door and say, hey, just do a neighborly check.
That's great. It's important. That connection was definitely more present years past than it is now.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, I think, definitely give this holiday season, if you can, either your money or your time. It will make such a difference. And I think, it just gives you a real warm, cozy feeling inside.
I think this year in particular, it's more important than ever. I think there'll be more people in need, and so critical.
I think so too.
Well, that was great.
I think so.
Yeah. So, thank you everyone for watching this. Just, to basically complete our show, I want to thank you all for listening. And if you want to become a sponsor, contact us at 774-319-4230. That's 774-319-4230. Special thanks to Ron Gamache for our intro music, the PC Institute for producing our show. Bay Coast Bank is just right for all your financial needs. Visit baycoast.bank or call 508-678-7641 to learn more.
Thanks.
Have a good day, everyone. Take care.